to take seriously. Yeah, so we are looking at women health. And so I'll be a bit general and then I go to specifics as we move along. So when we talk about women health, our health generally, we are being told that the world is becoming very complicated by the day. Things are really getting complicated. And the World Health Organization is saying if we don't take care of our health, even them, as the World Health Organization, they say that we may be losing the battle. Can you imagine? They projected many years ago that between 2010 and 2020, there will be a great increase of lifestyle diseases in Africa on chronic diseases. So these chronic diseases, what do we mean by chronic diseases? They are the diseases that we get, but for sure, they are not caused by a virus, or something like that. And so we are talking about things like heart disease. We are talking about cancer. Cancer is becoming a real threat to our community today. And we are talking about lung diseases are on the increase. A stroke is part of heart disease. Alzheimer's. We know quite a number of our elderly people who have actually lost their memory. Talking about diabetes. And today, if you go to TikTok or wherever, we are talking a lot about insulin resistance. That is what happens to you before you actually get properly diabetic. And it can be very problematic. And kidney diseases are becoming very common. So when you look at all those holistically, and of course, there's the issue of infertility. When you talk about women, there's an issue of infertility. There's an issue of cysts, the growths that we get in our body, and they can either be benign or they can be either benign or cancerous. And those are things we need to understand. We can't just sit down there and ignore. So we are being told that generally for you to say you have a good health, there are things you need to consider, and it's good you write these things down and you check yourself. One of the things is check your diet. When you talk about your diet, the scientists are saying 95% of people are deliberately eating foods that actually lack nutrition. And in my first presentation, I saw the healthy food pyramid, and I knew that I was in the 95%. They continue to say 75% of the population, they are eating foods deliberately that are harmful. Excess caffeine, excess sugar, excess starches, crazy oils. The oils we are using out there, if we were to do our research, they are totally not good for us. So it's up to us to check how are we doing about it, because it's a serious thing. The other thing is exercise. Wow, this one is interesting. We are being told that at least you need to live an active life. I know we have this thing in our minds where we are like, if you have a car, you're living large, you're living nice. But if you do not exercise because you're always driving from point A to point B, you get to the office, you take a lift, you hardly have leg movement, you hardly have your heart getting the exercise it needs, your muscles, your legs, then you are in trouble. So we need to take exercise seriously. And we know even on internet, there are so many people encouraging us, you can do an exercise for 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day. And we need to take it seriously. And with the exercise is where you also need to make sure that you know your BMI. Don't assume that you are okay. Just bite the bullet, go and check your BMI. And your BMI will tell you, are you doing fine? Are you not doing fine? Because when you have excess weight, even in a few kilos, in itself, it is causing problems slowly by slowly. So that's something we need to check. Of course, there's the issue of resting. We need 6 to 8 hours daily. Whether we argue all the things around it, whether it's possible, it's impossible, oh, I have insomnia. Please, if you have all those challenges, just straighten your life and try to make sure that you rest well. Then, of course, we need water. Very critical. We know we've been told water is life. So the question is, are you taking water? And what excuses are you giving? What excuses are you giving for not taking the water? Because the body doesn't take excuses. We all know we need at least 2 to 3 liters per day. Men need higher amounts anyway. So it's up to you to actually consciously know, what does water do for me? And when I don't take enough water, what is happening? Please go to AI, go to Meta, go to Google, ask them what happens when you don't take enough water. Because it is don't we take so much time on social media, watching movies and stuff. Please take time to self-educate yourself sometimes. It's important for you and your family. Sunlight. This is something that when we were in day schools, we used to be given time to go and bask. During break time, we would go, we would bask. But today, we wear trousers 24/7. We hardly open ourselves up for the skin to actually get sunlight. And we are told just 15 minutes are good enough in the morning sun. The question is, where are we? We are hidden in the offices or at the comfort of our homes. And then, of course, we need good air. If you are in an environment where you know very well you're always getting toxicity from the vehicles, from the motorbikes, maybe where you work, there's a lot of pollution, you need to be very careful, very, very careful. And so, and of course, those are things that we need to work on. Whatever reasons we can give, we can give as many reasons as possible about life, but the body doesn't care about those reasons. The body needs what is needed to keep it healthy. And that's what it requires, and it's as simple as that. Now, when you talk about now the BMI, I mentioned it a bit. You find that, I don't know, I have not done a research whether more women are overweight than men. I don't know. But we are talking about women, and this applies to men also. Well, as we talked about the BMI, you can do your calculation. You can go to your local healthcare person, or when you find those people with machines that can help you get to know your BMI, pay the money, pay that 50 bob and get to know your BMI. So if you are below 18.5 or anyone below 18.5, it's more dangerous to be underweight than overweight. More dangerous. So I had a friend who was very overweight, a guy. And that friend of mine, one day I just had his normal. And I was like, in my mind, he was very underweight for a very long time. So it's important to understand that. Then, of course, the normal, then if you're a bit overweight, what do you do with the excess kilos before it becomes difficult to do it, and on and on and on. So that is something, story for another day, but we know that we have solutions for weight loss. Now, let's go to the diet, because diet contributes a lot to who we are and who we will become. And these parents, hear me right, this includes your children. Whether your wife is expectant or you yourself are expectant, what you give your children, even when they are just conceived, will matter a lot in how their health is going to be. So let's not excuse and say they are kids. We can give them junk. It is allowed. There's nothing like that. We need to be very critical. The more we eat junk food and give excuses for it, the more all those diseases that have been mentioned become, including acne, headaches. There are people who have chronic headaches for the longest, and the doctors don't seem to even give a solution. Dental issues can be very damaging. When you don't have five, by the time you're losing 4 teeth, you're in trouble. Moving on. Depression, there's a lot of depression, and part of the depression is aggravated by the diet that people eat. So it's very important to know that. And stomach issues as well. There's a lot of stuff about stomach issues. It had not been mentioned earlier. We talk about high blood pressure, insulin resistance, and diabetes, cholesterol. By the way, if we all were to be taken to be checked our cholesterol levels, and it's not about weight now, this one, you'll be surprised that many of us, our cholesterol is high. Some of us is alarmingly high. And you know the worst bit is for you to know you have a heart condition, it's when you get an attack for most people. Or maybe if you're lucky now, you go to the doctor, and the first thing they check is your pressure and your weight. That's the first thing they do. So you are lucky enough to be told, hey, your pressure is high. If you go and you're told that, you need to be very happy because now you know. But many people live without knowing. And that's why your first attack can be your last, or can make you have a very poor quality of life thereafter, or even a stroke. So when we talk about eating right, I've seen, I used to see these things in the government clinics, but the nurses never told us. They never bothered to teach us when we went to the government clinics. The chart was there. Nobody explained it to us. And when you're sick, sometimes is when the doctor says, go and see the nutritionist. You'll be lucky you are seeing a nutritionist from a government hospital. Today, if you see a nutritionist who is private, just know that they'll dent your pocket nicely. And they are telling you things you can learn because they also learned. So it's not rocket science. Having a good health is not rocket science. Our grandparents knew, and they ate well because they knew. And so we also can know. So health matters, we need to take them as priority. So we are told below here, we need to take good whole foods. They are called whole grains. That's the word, whole. If it's maize, whole. Don't remove anything. Because when God created it as whole, he knew what it's going to do for you. The germ, the husk, and the inner part, which is starch. He knew. And so when you remove the germ and the husk, you're in trouble. It's just a matter of time. That trouble will show up. I didn't know that. Now I know. And that now we know. If you're eating whole, please eat whole. Is it going to be easy? No. But we need to work on it. The next category is fruits and vegetables. We are told an apple a day keeps the doctor away. An apple represents food. I mean fruits and vegetables. It's just not saying that if you eat an apple a day, you'll be healthy, healthy, healthy. No. That word of an apple a day represents you eating fruits every day. And we know, thank God to Neolife, we know that the fruits you eat are in 3 categories. So I just mention them, jot them somewhere, and you do your research. Because it's our life, we need to learn. So the first foods we need to eat on fruits and vegetables are called the carotenoids. That's a family of foods that protect you from oxidation, protects you from free radicals on the oily parts of the body. Any part of the body that is oily, including the cell membrane, it is going to be protected by the carotenoids. Go and search what carotenoids are. You can hear the word carrot and several others. Go do that. And so when you go for shopping, you are more wise. Then the next are flavonoids. Flavonoids they protect the watery parts of the body, including the lymphatic system, which is a very big system. So the watery parts of the body, they need the flavonoids. And then we have the cruciferous. And those are specific to the genders now. The cruciferous fruits will help us, whether it's the men with their prostate and the women with their ovaries and their cervix and their breasts. That cruciferous is very critical for hormonal areas, including the thyroid, because that's hormonal. That's why people get the thyroid enlargement and hypo, all that. We don't go into that right now. So you need a minimum of 6 servings, a mixture of all those, going all the way to 15. If you can do that, you're doing well. You feel good, you look good. You look younger for longer. Then, of course, we have the proteins, and the proteins, we are told that the best form of proteins, if eaten in bigger quantities, are the plant-based proteins because they are alkaline in nature, they are easy to digest, And there are varieties. So they do a lot of the good bodybuilding. They give you lean muscle. They don't give you fat, They don't give you cholesterol. The next category that is good is the white meat. But of course, whether it is fish, whether it is chicken, whether it's all those turkey and all those types of chicken family, they need to have been organically grown. But we have this thing where as long as it's chicken, it's chicken. Do I really care? Yes, you need to care because some of them are hormonally induced so that they grow faster. And those hormones don't die. They get into your system and they mess you up. So that's something you need to remember. Then, of course, the rest of the proteins, the animal protein, the rest of it, the meat, the milk, the yogurt, and all that. When those ones are taken in very high quantities, they bring those challenges we talked about at the beginning, cholesterol and inflammation and all that. So don't be this person who says, I'll eat a lot of meat. Do I care? Yeah, you need to care. Because the day your body hits you, you will ask questions, nobody will answer you. So those are things we need to check on. They should be eaten in moderation. And the no-go zone for protein is the treated meat. Any treated meat you buy from the supermarket, and if especially it is treated with nitrate, that is danger because that nitrate is a potential carcinogen. It can increase the carcinogenic challenges that we are seeing that blows down into cancer. So I'm saying this because as a parent, I gave my children a lot of sausages, chipolatas. I gave them nyama bites. I gave them burgers. I would do all those things until the day I actually understood what I was doing to my dear children. You love them, and because of ignorance, you are destroying them. And now with the wave of the young, now the Gen Zs are going to be the mothers and the millennials. And they've been grown up with those things in the morning thinking they are good. That's a lesson we need to talk about. Even if you're a grandmother, check what your grandchildren are eating. That's your lineage. So lineage, not lineage, whatever. Then we talk about the fats and sugars. Of course, with fats and sugars, this is a very confusing topic because people think as long as I don't eat fatty food and sugar, a lot of sugar, I'm good to go. Fats and sugars include all the drinks that are in the market. The frizzy drinks, the sodas, the juices, they have a high percentage of sugar. Industrial sugar for that matter. We are talking about the oils we use and how often, because many times breakfast, lunch, supper, mkarango, mkarango, mkarango. For those who can't hear Kiswahili, means you're always frying and deep frying and all that frying. If you go all the estates, there's a lot of frying of things, and that's not good for you. That now includes, in conclusion for this, it includes the refined starch. The minute you refine a whole grain, and it is only remaining the white part in there, that is sugar, 100% sugar. And because it doesn't have fiber to slow down that intake of sugar into the bloodstream, you are in total trouble. That means chapati, mandazi, samosa, pizza, ugali, all those things we eat a lot, the spaghettis we eat, they have a lot of starch, and that is sugar the minute it gets to the body. That breeds trouble. Now, we've inverted this pyramid upside down. So we are eating a lot of the things I've mentioned. And I had not even mentioned cakes and ngumu and all those things we buy for our children, and the sweets and the chocolates, the biscuits. All those, there's too much that we are taking. And then, of course, now we come reducing that. And we are still eating the whole grains and we are still adding those others. So what happens is that eventually we have a gap, and that gap now will affect you. So even as I go into the women health very briefly, it will affect each one of us, whether it's children, whether it is women, or whether it's men. That gap is made worse by the farming we do, the way we harvest our crops, the way we transport it, the way we store it, and the way we cook it at home. That will continue to affect the quality of the food that you eat. So now we are here to discover a better way of life. And I can tell you this is a journey that is worth taking. I love this because Neolife as an institution decided way back in 1958, after this research I've mentioned was done and tabled to the American government. One person said, I will do something that is going to prevent people getting those challenges and to educate them, because the educating part is very critical. And so with Neolife, we are telling you you're starting a mission to help you understand your health from head to toe. If it's your hair, it's not doing well, as early as possible, what can I do to maintain good hair? If it's your dental, if it's your skin, if it is your respiratory system. My family comes from a family of asthma and bronchitis. We knew, because of these trainings, what to do. And nobody uses the inhaler anymore. Can you imagine that? My mom had arthritis. It was very critical. And at the point of knowing this, we knew we got a better way for life. For her, it's been 24 years now. And my mom in her 80s, oh my goodness, she's forever grateful, you know? And so this is a journey where you discover your health. Please don't be that person who wants to be a very good engineer, a very good lawyer, a very good whatever. But when it comes to your health, you are not even giving it time or even changes that are required. That is not good. And so we are on a mission to make the world a healthier and a happier place. That's our founder, a great guy, God-fearing, who built his story from 19 years. And now, being in his 66th year or something, he has been doing this journey of teaching people all over the world. And he has mentored people like us, without being present. Just a system of people getting to know what they are supposed to do. And you who is seated there listening to me, we want you to be better than we can ever be, so that you can mentor more people. Today we are 143. I have our two gadgets. 142 or 43 or 45. Some people are going in and out. It means each one of us, if we were to reach another 140, look at that benefit that we give to the world. So we are going to change people one person at a time. But of course, you only change those who are willing. You're told you don't have to worry about the science, because we have renowned scientists. They are nutrition experts. They have published their work. They are very respected. And you need to go to Neolife University. In the Neolife University, there's a course that teaches about the Scientific Advisory Board, their accomplishment, their achievements, all those things that you need to clarify if you're that kind of person who wants details. So you can do that, and you get more confident with what we have. Now, let's go to the health part of it. Remember we talked about the body. Eating well, then you eat badly. The smallest part of your body is called the cell. This cell you can see here. And if you are eating the inverted pyramid, the way we saw it, your cells will definitely be challenged, because they need the oils from the whole grains to stay lubricated. And that's how a healthy cell behaves. A healthy cell will bring in nutrition, everything you eat that is nutritious. Hopefully it has nutrition. It will go in at its best. The absorption is at its best. You absorb as much as required. And then after all the energy bringing and all the whatever happens in the cell there, the waste will go out. That's a perfect idea of how we need to stay healthy. So we are being told our cells are surrounded by special membranes that allow nutrients to get in and waste to get out. If these cellular membranes are starved of vital nutrients, that we call the lipids and the sterols from the germ of the whole grains. If they are starved of that, they become inflexible and can't perform these critical functions. Whole grain lipids and sterols allow your cell membranes to become their flexible best, making it easier for nutrients to get in and waste out. We did biology, we know about osmosis. So what we are saying is, if you're eating badly and you never give the body those oils, this is how your cells are. 1 cell, 2 cells, 3 cells, up to 100 trillion of them. And the more cells that become bad, now the more disease aggravates. So you start with an ache here, an ache there, eventually a whole organ is affected, eventually a whole system is affected, eventually there's nothing the doctor can do. Because food is medicine. And mwili inajengwa na chakula. The body is taken care of by the food and the herbs that God gave us. So now, TNN is the one that Neolife created in 1958. It's a concentrate of wheat, rice, and soya. We can agree most of us who eat wheat, we eat it white. Completely white, not whole, most of us. Rice, we do a lot of white rice, polished. It's only maybe ugali that sometimes we are able to go to the posho meal, but only a very small percentage. So we need to be on TNN. And I tell you, if you can take TNN starting now, and you get consistent over time for 7 years, those cells that have been compromised, they will be removed because they die and go out, and you get new cells. Within those 7 years, the body usually has replaced most of the cells from head to toe, and you will be a new you. You won't believe it. People will be asking you, hey, how comes you're looking younger? You didn't used to look like this. So you find that TNN is very critical. And please don't ask, say it's expensive. Compared to what? To buying a carpet, to buying a TV, to buying a shamba. Vis-a-vis your body, wewe ndio utajipanga. You need to do that plan that your cells are at their best. And remember, in between, you don't eat well. And that's why we need to supplement. The other thing is the carotenoids. We talked about carotenoids. You need to make sure that you have things that protects that cell membrane. Yani before any free radical comes in, before those things, oxidation comes in, there is a protection around your cell. It's like the way we have army, Kenya Army, airways, the air armies, and the ones in the sea. Yani we are just in our houses, we are comfortable because we know our KDF, our airways guys, our marine guys are taking care of us. That's what the fruits and vegetables do. So carotenoid will do that for you. And the most beautiful thing about carotenoid, it keeps cancer cells away because cancer is becoming a very bad menace. And so you need to know that this is your fighter. It fights and improves your T killer cells. Then, of course, we have the omega. We know omega is good. And the best omega comes from salmon, mackerel, sardine, and tuna. And that's what you get from Neolife, you know. Omega Plus will give you the best for reducing inflammation and reducing the cysts. If you have cysts in the body, that one will take care of you and many other benefits. So we have a product that has everything that should reverse back that stress the body has gone through over the years, and you start getting healthy. Now let's go specific now. Once your cells are healthy, let's go to the women health now. What else do women need to do? Weight management. If you have a problem of weight, and please don't feel bad if I say this, if you find that your waistline is a bit heavy than it should be, that should be a point of concern. And the Neolife Shake can help you. So if you can invest in Neolife Shake for the next 3 months, the next 4 months, the next 6 months, I'm telling you, you're going to see a new you. And because the subcutaneous fat that is at the berry part, it has worse effect than any other fat that is distributed in the body. So we have the Neolife Shake there. It has many flavors. We have vanilla, we have strawberry, we have chocolate, because of the different personalities. We all have different personalities. But for normal health, it can be taken together with meals. for our children, the sick who cannot eat, and all that. Then the next thing I'll be talking about now is, I'll not go into that. Feminine herbal for women. Our hormones become erratic. When you eat badly, you're not exercising, you're not taking water, you get what we call hormonal imbalance. And it comes in form of early menopause, cysts, like many people have a lot of cysts in the body, and those growths that really affect women, or mood swings. All those things are very important. Infertility, there are people who are not getting children, and yet the doctor says, I don't see anything wrong with you. You don't have blocked tubes. You are okay. So feminine herbal, taken, if you have hormonal imbalance for sure, or you have a lot of menopause issues, take it consistently for 3 to 6 months. But if it's for normal maintenance as a woman, you can do it once in a quarter, or once in 6 months, or once a year. And even our girls need this, because we've given them a lot of stuff that can affect their hormones, and it's not good. Women need Calmag. Why? They do a lot of bending, a lot of washing, a lot of cooking, a lot of many things. And because of that, they lose a lot of calcium. And even childbirth. In childbirth, many women lose their teeth. They have osteoporosis. They have so many challenges that comes with the bones. Every woman, whether you are feeling it or not, needs to add some calcium in their system. And more so, the pregnant women and the older women. Because when you're on menopause, your estrogen is going down, and that affects the absorption of calcium. And calcium needs magnesium for proper absorption. That balance. When you blink, you close your eyes, you need Calmag. When you open it, you need magnesium. And then, of course, we need D3. That combination in the right ratios of 1 to 2. Sometimes people go looking for a calcium that has a very high Mg ratio, but it doesn't have the right ratio of magnesium and the right ratio of D3. It won't give you as good result as if it goes to a ratio of 1 Calmag, no, 2 Calmags to 1 magnesium. A story for another day. So we have a fantastic calcium that has that balance, and that's why it gives very good results. Then we have aloe vera. Of course, we may be having challenges of the stomach, challenges of stress. Women who get children, sometimes they get postpartum stress, and they need that, or they are getting PMS, so for the digestion. So that is aloe vera. Of course, it's good for men and women. And even the other products I've mentioned, other than feminine herbal, they can be used by men. Feminine herbal is the one that can't be used by a man. So we have that aloe vera. It's a great product. If you have some bit of money in your pocket, just have it once in a while to refresh your family. People buy wines, they buy what, they buy what. This is one of the best things you can have, even for the children, even the newborns who have colic. Aloe vera is very good for them. Then I'm looking at the time. Vitamin E. Vitamin E is called the fertility vitamin. Fertility vitamin. So if you want your fertility to be at its best, even during menopause, there are women who say, oh, I'm dry, oh, things are not happening. Vitamin E is very critical. Not to mention, it adds value to your skin. It's a very serious antioxidant. Of course, carotenoid is more powerful, but vitamin E will be good for your heart, it will be good for your skin, it will be good for your fertility. And in this one, you also have wheat germ oil. So you can alternate vitamin E and the wheat germ oil. Okay, so when you're giving someone, especially for fertility issues, just use the wheat germ oil. It is very perfect. Okay, and you know it's a family. You know when you're giving the vitamins, they come in a family. So this one is a family of 8. It's water soluble. It has tocopherol and tocotrienols. Those are big words, but need to know that you need the family of all of them. Not just buying one family of vitamin E in the chemist and you think you're good to go. No, need to be a family of 8. Even the omega should be the family of 8. You need to know that. Now, this is one of the best products for women. Women, hear me, oh. After TNN, if you're not buying anything else I've mentioned in between, please get yourself cruciferous. Because it will crucify any cyst that is within you. And it's also good for men because of the prostate enlargement. Once a man has an enlarged prostate, they need cruciferous urgently to bring the PSA count down. It's a proven thing. Please know that cruciferous is good for hormonal enlargements. And it needs to be taken as early as possible before a cancer or a metastasis, you know. So we need to take it now that we don't know what is happening in our body, because we could be having those growths before they get to a point where they are being detected, they are messing up with you, they are metastasizing to go to other locations. Cruciferous will crucify them. The wonders of God. Can you imagine? A fantastic product. I don't think we have such in the market out there. Please, if you have a daughter, a mother, your wife, yourself, we need cruciferous. It's a very good product. Then I'm about to finish. Thank you. Other targeted solution, we've looked at weight management. For the sharper mind, there's omega and mind enhancement. For the heart, we have a heart program. We were looking at women's health today. Maybe another day we'll look at men. Energy and fitness with Provitality. You're good to go. And if you love yourself more, you can do Provitality and the shake. It's not cheap, but it will keep you restarting your body better. Then now you can go slow on the others. You can now reduce that pack if you feel it's a bit pricey. Bone and joint, digestive, immunity, children's, and of course we have sharper mind. I'll not go into that. Heart health, I'll not go into that. That one we've been learning over time. Maybe you take a screenshot for the mind, sharper mind, in case you have a relative who might need, and their guy is really drawing on my screen. I don't know what to do with them. Oh, somebody is really drawing and it's messing up with our slides. Give me a minute, I work on this. We need to be finishing. Please don't allow the children to touch the slides so that we have them better. Thank you. Okay. So that's the heart health. You can take a screenshot on that because I'm not going to teach on it. That's for another day. Then we saw there's the sharper mind. I'm also taking a screenshot. It'll help us teach more people. Then we have bone and joint. There we go. Just a minute. Okay, then we have men health. We haven't forgotten our men for a mention. You can see what there is for men. The difference is that we've added zinc, masculine herbal, and garlic. Then we have weight loss. Weight loss, you can see it's the shake there. The shake goes together with the Provitality. You do this for some months, you see a lot of difference, and then you can later on add Amitune to really do good for you. Then we have skincare. Women love taking care of their skin. Our skincare is natural, no chemicals, you know, keeps you looking younger for longer. But most importantly, you are not putting chemicals in your system. Remember, the skin is a breathing organ. So whatever you're applying will be breathed in inside. So we need to be careful about that. Over time, it can be a problem. Then, of course, as women, we need to make sure that we are using detergents that are not going to harm our children and ourselves. Remember, we breathe in these things. We use our hands to keep washing and doing all that. We sleep on the sheets that we've cleaned with funny soaps that have particles. And so we really need to be careful about that. We have many, many, many home care products. These are just a representation. Let me end it there and say that, guys, thank you for being with us tonight. I really hope and pray that we can continue learning more. What I know is that there's a lot of information out there and it can help each one of us. So let me stop. Wow, I don't know. I was not recording. I'm not sure. If I was not recording, it's so sad, really sad. I hope I was recording. Oh my goodness. So thank you so much, guys, for being with us tonight. It's been a pleasure. I can tell.